Welcome back to another video everyone. I'm going to start today's video off with a quote, some wise words. I'm going to quote Hideki Kamiya, who once said, "Blocked." See, today I'm going to be sharing a life hack with you all that will go a long way. It'll help you out a lot if you're in a similar position to me. If you find yourself just scrolling through Instagram or Twitter and you're not even fully aware that you're doing it or how often you do it. I only really realized about a week ago when Instagram went down for nearly a whole day, I think. That's when I truly realized how often I scroll through these different social media platforms. What normally happens is I'll scroll through the app, I'll get bored of it and then I'll close it down. About 2 minutes later, I'll go back on it and start scrolling again, and I won't even be aware of it. But when it was down last week, I was able to realize how much I was actually loading Instagram up because it was down and I couldn't do anything on it. The same thing goes for Twitter, and it's probably even worse for Twitter. That's going to be the main focus of this video because, in my opinion, I think Twitter is probably the most toxic social media platform. Am I correct in assuming that? I'm just having second thoughts, trying to think about the various different types of people that inhabit each social media platform, but I think Twitter takes the crown for this one. A lot of stuff on Twitter is negative, it's toxic, it's stuff that you really just don't want to be reading. The first life hack that I'm going to share with you in this video, which would benefit you a lot if you're like me who scrolls through Twitter all the time, is to just simply delete Twitter. But Lewis, if it's so bad, why do you still have it? That's where the second life hack comes in, okay? If you don't want to delete Twitter for whatever reason, maybe you want to keep up with your friends, maybe you want to keep up with YouTubers that you follow. The reason I still have it is for that reason. I like, following YouTubers that I watch. I like having it just so people can reach out to me. That's why I still have it. So what's the next best thing? If you can't delete the platform, what is the next best solution? It's to block people. I'm always wasting a bunch of time and just getting angry for no reason when I'm reading some dumb tweet or just a dumb thread. Not from people that you follow outside of that, Twitter outside of the people that you're just following. It's so hard to block it out. Let's say you're following a select few people. If they get involved in an argument or if they see a troll or something and they reply to it or they quote retweet it, getting involved in the argument, you're then going to see that as well. Maybe you're following a brand account or you see a movie announcement, just anything random where you go into the replies and read them and you see people arguing about it for some reason, and then as you're reading it you get angrier and you want to reply to it as well. Sometimes I'll even write out a response because I'm so tempted to say something, but I'll just delete it before I post it. I'll always remind myself before I do that. I'll say to myself, do not reply to this. You've already wasted so much time reading it. Don't get involved in it. I've wasted so much time doing that. So my second life hack is, before you can get sucked into an argument or a thread that you're about to read the whole thing and waste a bunch of time, just block the person. Might seem a bit harsh blocking some random person under a tweet that you saw just because of one thing that they said. Depends what they're saying really. If it's just some troll or if they're insulting something just to spark an argument, block them. Now what is it that actually made me stop blocking people all of a sudden? It's this trend that's going around in the gaming community on Twitter for some reason. We're all aware of the main console war, which is Xbox versus PlayStation. It's been going on for so long now. Nintendo are usually never involved in it. They're sort of at the back just watching it all happen, doing their own thing. Well, Nintendo have been dragged into it recently. It's now Nintendo versus PlayStation. What did Nintendo do to get involved in all of this? They released a game. Metroid Dread. I'm not kidding. For some reason, PlayStation loyalists, fanboys, whatever you want to call them, I'm not referring to regular PlayStation fans here. If you enjoy PlayStation games, exclusives, whatever, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people that can't appreciate games on other platforms. To these people, if a great game comes out on a console that isn't PlayStation, it's not a good game. And that's what Nintendo did. They released Metroid Dread. General consensus is it's a really good game. I'm enjoying it a lot, apart from the bit where I wasted a bunch of time looking for a way to go and it turned out to be this wall that looks no different to the rest of it. Aside from that, it's great. Those sections where the enemies are chasing you are genuinely terrifying. The music turns all spooky, you're completely aware that you're being hunted, and you know that you have to keep moving because if you stand still for 4 or 5 seconds, you're gonna get caught. Point is, it's a good game, but these PlayStation fanboy loyalists just can't handle that. Good game? On a platform that isn't my PlayStation 5? I can guarantee you that if Metroid Dread was a PlayStation exclusive for whatever reason, it would be Game of the Year contender for these people because it's exclusive. So what are these PlayStation fanboys doing? Well, they're basically comparing just a regular section from Metroid Dread to a cinematic sequence from God of War, for example, and they're comparing them on Twitter saying $60 Nintendo game versus $60 PlayStation game. Basically saying, look how much better PlayStation games are because I'm using a cinematic sequence on a more powerful console. That automatically means that other game I'm comparing it to is shit. They are just dumb comparisons made by people that either want to feel better about owning a PlayStation or just people that want to spark arguments. And it worked because I follow a lot of gaming accounts and a lot of them, the only reason I saw this is because of the people that were replying to them, quote retweeting them, getting involved in arguing about why Metroid Dread is a good game. I've seen a bunch of these different posts and I wasted so much time just reading the comments underneath them, even feeling like I had to say something. Basically what I just said a minute ago, defending Metroid Dread, is what I felt like saying under the tweets. And it progressively gets worse as you read on, because then you see Nintendo fans insulting God of War just because they were insulting Metroid Dread, which isn't the correct thing to do either, because they're both great games. You're comparing two great games. There's hundreds of replies to these tweets and it's so easy to get sucked in and read them all. It's such a waste of time, so what I just started doing was blocking the people posting them. I've saved a bunch of time blocking people that post these kinds of things already. If I read a tweet and it starts off by saying $60 Nintendo game versus $60, get blocked, mate. I'm not wasting any more time when I could be making a video, or instead of reading an argument about Metroid Dread, I could just be playing Metroid Dread. And this Nintendo versus PlayStation thing is just what sort of pushed me over the edge to start blocking people. I just go on a blocking spree now. If I see a viral tweet that, you know, is in my feed because someone's liked it, that's where you're going to see a lot of toxicity, because it's a viral tweet. You know, with how many people are seeing it, of course there's going to be some crap under there. When I read the replies of those tweets, I go on a blocking spree. But yeah, that being said, my tip of the day is to start blocking people on Twitter. Feels good. I started blocking people 2 days ago, and from all that time that I've gained back that I'm not now spending arguing on Twitter, I've started investing in stocks and I'm now a millionaire. That being said, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Definitely subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you all in my next video. But gamers, before I end off the video, I've got one question. What have you been playing recently? I recently just finished the first Kingdom Hearts game and it was amazing. I loved pretty much every second of it, apart from a few boss fights. There were quite a few tough ones in there. There were some that were just straight up frustrating and I just really wanted to get it over and done with. And others that were extremely tough and took multiple attempts to beat them, but I enjoyed every second of it because it was fun. That being said though, let me know what you've been playing recently and I'll see you all in my next video.